And welcome to the third installment of the Leaguelatest podcast. I am Jaden Muller and I'm joined once again by Lachlan Stedman as we dissect the round 2 of the NRL. How are you going, Steve?
I'm great. How are you going, Jaden?
Yeah, not too bad. Pretty intriguing round. Again, a couple of upsets and a number of close games.
Yeah, look, I really enjoyed the round. I didn't think it would be as good as it was. I thought round 1 set a really high benchmark, and I didn't think round 2 could get there, but gee, it came pretty close. A few great games.
Yeah, we're really shaping up for a really good season so far. As we saw this week as well, plenty of really close games. You did have a tip for Golden Point. I guess you were right in that regard. You just picked the wrong game.
Wrong game, but same outcome, I guess. It was a great game on Thursday night.
And we'll get straight into that one. Storm Rabbitohs.
So yeah, Storm taking it out 15-14. You wouldn't think that would be the final score in the 60th minute when it was 14-zip.
Yeah, if you'd been watching that game, the Storm really should have probably been up by a few more.
Yeah.
They bombed a couple of chances, had a couple taken away by the bunker, and it gave the couple of sin bins gave the Rabbitohs a chance to get back into the game.
Yeah. It's actually crazy to think if Latrell slotted that conversion at the end when they scored their third try, the Rabbitohs would have won it because then they would have got the ball back and obviously slotted the 2-point field goal to send it to Golden Point. So that would have won it for them.
You never know. They might not have been
as aggressive.
They might not have gone for it then because if they had kicked it dead, we know how potent the 7 tackle set is.
Yeah.
And the Storm attack definitely has a chance to go to field, and they've got some long range field goal weapons of their own.
Yep.
We obviously saw Pappenhausen kick a short range field goal to win it in Golden Point, but Munster was another option they had there.
Yeah.
I think they were talking Xavier Coates up, which I don't think he has kicked one before. But
that is a hot call.
Apparently, he's got a bit of a boot on him. A couple of the boys were saying, but yeah.
No, yeah. Big talking point out of that one for me was Harry Grant. He played so well. It sucks he's got COVID and he's missing round 3, but he got my three Leaguelatest votes.
Yeah, he got my 3 votes as well. It was, in my eyes, he's clearly the best hooker in the NRL at the moment.
Yeah.
And with the World Cup coming up at the end of the year, I don't think it should be a question that he takes the Australia jersey.
Yeah.
I know you've got Damien Cook there at the moment, but we saw in that matchup on Thursday night.
He won.
Grant was far and away the better player. He was struggling a little bit towards the end of his 80 minutes with cramps and stuff, but
that happens to everyone first.
It's his first game of the season.
Happens to us when we play touch.
Yeah, it's obviously a shame he misses next week. I think he got ruled out 30 minutes after he got named, so that's a first for the NRL. But yeah, he was definitely a standout performer. I had Pappenhausen getting my 2 votes and Munster taking the 1 for me.
Yeah, Munster was really good. He got 2 votes for me, and then Coates got 1. I thought he was pretty good in the wing and deserved a lone point from that one.
Yeah, Munster clearly looking in shape. That was his first game of the season as well. He seems to have a little bit more zip this year.
Yeah.
Really taking the line on, got some speed.
Might have made some health changes that we probably won't talk about.
I just want to mention the Rabbitohs just quickly. They seem to be really close a number of times. They had heaps of chances. It just looks like they haven't quite bonded down that left edge, which we know how potent that is in attack. Couple of balls going to ground. I think Johnson may have dropped 2. First game back on the wing.
Campbell Graham too.
Campbell Graham dropped a couple. I think they're not far off is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They did show some promise in the last 20 minutes. If they can take that into next week, you never know, they could get their season back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Ilias can't really fill that Reynolds spot as well as Reynolds filled the spot, but he'll only get better as the rounds go.
And his players have got to adjust around him, I think.
So. Absolutely. Yeah. So that was a good one to kick off the round, but Friday night was also pretty solid. Yeah,
Friday night we had the Dragons versus Panthers. There was one game that we talked about it last week that we thought could be real close game.
Could be the upset.
It could have been an
almost
upset.
Was.
Yeah, the Dragons fought back really strongly there. There's a couple got unlucky, I guess, a little bit, but yeah, Panthers were too strong in the end.
And Kikau was so good. After his, what was it, the big story of his family surprising him coming over for his 150th game? Or what?
I think was it over 100? Yeah,
I don't know,
100th or 150th game.
Yeah, his whole family, or a lot of his family came to watch it, and he got 2 meat pies, I think.
Yeah, he's been in some phenomenal form. He's running some really good lines. Obviously, it comes back to the halves. Shauno's playing pretty well at the moment.
Yeah.
Luai, they're putting him through those holes, I think, down that left edge. And he's looking at like he's playing his best footy.
Yeah, he's been really good, and he got my 3 votes after that one.
Yeah, he was pretty unlucky to miss out on any of my votes.
Yeah, I'm just saying here, he's not even there.
He's not there.
Tough call.
It's tough because Panthers had a number of really good players.
They all played well, didn't they?
And then the Dragons, on the other hand, they were definitely good enough to be in the mix.
Yeah.
I think I have Ben Hunt taking my 2 votes. We're going out of order here a little bit. But Ben Hunt, he played really well. He was steering him around. That's kind of what we want to see from Ben Hunt.
Yeah.
Moving forward with this younger team. Definitely.
He's a veteran presence, I guess.
Yeah, if he's playing like that week in, week out, that's going to take a lot of pressure off the younger players he's got around him and allow them to play their natural game and really step up.
Yeah. Yeah, he got 1 point for me, then Coruscant at a dummy half got 2. He's also been in good form.
Coruscant's been great. Again, going out of, I'll save my 3 points for the end. Yeah, Coruscant took the 1 vote for me. He had a quiet year last season, but it was, I think, 2020. He had a really good year.
Yeah.
He's kind of found that form again.
The attacking stats are coming back.
Yeah, he's really excelling in that role. So.
Yeah. And I guess he's got more responsibility with Cleary not playing at the moment as well.
Yeah, and I think he's standing up well.
Yeah.
I don't know how you left this man out though. As just another phenomenal performance.
It's funny how we've given 3 votes to different people and they don't even feature.
They've missed out on we pretty much everything that we said last week for Azaleo. I guess we could say again, just the pressure he can take off the other players on the team. His work rate, everything off the ball. He's a phenomenal player. I definitely see him playing in a Blues jersey later this.
Yeah, unfortunately
for
us
Queensland fans.
No, but that was a good game to kick off Friday. The second game, I tipped this one to go to Golden Point. It didn't. The Roosters won 26-12. Look, I'm really disappointed with Manly. I feel like they're really dropping off. Trbojevic isn't really doing what he did last year, and they're just not electric.
It just looks like Manly going away from what worked really well for them last year. Like, I know the rule changes this year to some might seem a little bit small with penalties coming out of your own 40 metres for stuff that were ruck infringements and stuff like that. But it's allowing teams that struggled last year with kick returns to find that edge as well. Whereas that was something Manly was so good at last year with Drew Tonkin, Trbojevic, Garrick and Saab. It's kind of leveled the playing field a little bit, and it's something that's taken away from, I guess, Manly's strength. It's evened out a bit more. And to be fair, they've played 2 of the best teams. Two of the stronger teams in the comp.
Tough start.
Stronger rosters anyway, but
you do expect more from them.
Yeah, they're turning into a little bit of flat track bully. It's like they're beating what we saw last year. They really struggled against the top teams, and we might be seeing that again this year.
Yeah. I will just add though, the real changes are working because I think since 2011 or 10 plus seasons it was since there was 2012.
It's been at least 10 years.
10 years since games were this close.
Yeah, the margin of victory has been 9 point something, which is equal to what it was in 2011 or whenever.
So much better than last year seeing the 50-0 blowouts. It's really exciting because either team can win on the day.
Yeah, I think the changes to the rules this year have worked really well, and I think that we've finally found a good balance of what works.
Yeah, it's exciting footy. Well, we'll get through the votes quickly here. I had Luke Keary for 3, Nat Butcher, who had a great game, for 2, and Haimola Kawatu, who was really good in a losing Manly side, for 1.
That was good pronunciation there. I'll give you that. Again, we're disagreeing with our 3 votes. And Curie is another unfortunate player to miss out for me. He did have a phenomenal game, and I'm not trying to take away from that. We just seem to be in some disagreements lately. I don't know what's going on.
It's good because we have 2 different opinions, and it'll mean the final tally will be like a fair representation of different views across the league rather than just.
I guess that's one of the flaws with the current Dally M system. You've got one person putting the votes in, and I guess there's been some talk of that being changed for a little while now. However, my 3 votes go to Nat Butcher. Again, had a phenomenal game.
Yep.
2 tries, plenty of work through the middle.
And he's taken Crichton's spot for round 3.
Which is fair enough. He was top phenomenal. Yeah. He was off the bench as well, so that just gives credit to how well he played. Tedesco, I'm not sure how you managed to leave him off your list, but he was phenomenal. That's kind of what we expect from Teddy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was good.
I'm not going to go into it too much. And Takiaho, who moved into the starting team as a late inclusion, 200 and something meters, plenty of post-contact meters, heaps of work.
Big game.
He had a massive game, so I think that's pretty reasonable for my 1 vote.
Yep. Yeah, good game. Well, not quite for Manly, but for Roosters, they'll be happy they got a win after their shocking round 1 showing.
I was looking back at some previous results, and Roosters have tended to struggle. We always talk about Storm haven't lost a round 1 game in forever. Roosters are one team that do tend to struggle round 1, and especially with the new combinations, I think this year it might have taken a week to click.
Yeah.
If you're a Roosters fan, that's what you're hoping anyway. But yeah, I guess we can move into the next game of the week.
Yeah, so Super Saturday. I tipped this to be a pretty average day of games, but there was actually a few good games, and it was a good one to start.
Some big surprises as well.
Titans Warriors. Titans getting a close victory. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I did think the Titans would win, and I did think it was going to be rather close.
This close?
Not this close. I thought it might have been about a try different, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2 tries. For me, I thought the Warriors had too many players out and were really going to struggle. But yeah, they stood up and made it a really entertaining game. The Titans got the job done in the end, which I guess is a relief to get off the donut, I believe.
Absolutely, yeah.
After a close loss to the Eels last week.
Yeah. Marzhew for third hat-trick of the season, I believe.
Yeah, Greg Marzhew. I don't know how...
He had a different name a few years ago, didn't he?
Oh, it's...
Because we had him in Supercoach as a chiefie, and he only debuted when he was Marzhew.
Yeah, he's definitely a great talent. We saw that at the end of last year.
Yeah.
He's a great athlete. He's kind of what you want your modern winger to be. So there's a lot of hope for him in the Gold Coast system that he'll come through and probably take a starting role over some point this season. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, you've got, I think, Corey Thompson, who was out this week.
Yeah. Might have to fight his way back into the team.
He'll have to fight his way back in.
With Osaka there as well, breaking news there. And
just brought Osaka in. I thought the Eels were definitely going to be a better fit for Osaka, especially if he wants to go down there and play consistently. He's going to have to go into the Titans and really fight for a position, I think, because of guys like Marzhew and Corey Thompson will be back eventually. Sammy was on the other wing this weekend. He played pretty well.
Yeah, it seems a bit like a depth signing. Kind of a similar situation.
I think there's a lot of thought from what I was hearing that Jaden Campbell is a smaller body, first year in the NRL. He might try to fade towards the end of the year, or they might look to bring Sacco in midway through the season for a couple of games just to give him a bit of a break and manage his load a bit. Which, I don't mind. Yeah. I thought they would have had the depth there, to be honest. But it's a good signing. It's a good signing. As a Broncos fan, I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought he was pretty good against the Rabbitohs. He was a bit unlucky to lose his position. I don't think you could have dropped Corey Oates or Cobbo though. So
no.
He was definitely a next man up there. So it's whatever you think?
Yep. So votes for that one. Marzu, obviously 3 tries, gets the 3 points. AJ Brimson thought he was great at 6, so he got 2. And
Yeah, first game back for him this year.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah, he was really good slotting to 6.
I think that does look really good for their spine going forward. Having him partnering with Sexton. And
big toes.
Campbell at the back.
Yeah, it's a good young spine.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of room to grow. My 2 votes went to both for more.
Yeah, he was good in the second row.
He's been a great addition. Well, not addition, but he's been a great player for the Titans over the last year and a half.
He's actually been outplaying David Fafita as well, which is really impressive.
I think Fafita, obviously, he attracts a lot of the attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, first 2 rounds, he's definitely probably outperformed Fafita. Fafita's been a bit more quiet. And yeah, so he took the 2 votes for me this week.
Yep. And your final vote was
for Noah Blake. Again, just massive workload. He's really the go forward for the Warriors. Really gave him he was, for me, he gave them a chance to get the game as close as they did, and obviously at that scoreline you're a chance to win from there. They obviously couldn't get it done in the end, but Fanua Blake for mine was great this week.
He was good. And Wade Egan got a point for me. I thought he was very good. Good impact for the Warriors. On to the final game of Saturday, Cowboys and Raiders.
No, you've skipped one again, mate. You did this last week. Sharks versus Eels at PointsBet Stadium.
Sharks versus Eels at PointsBet Stadium is the second game on Saturday. Good win for the Sharkies. I tipped him. I was pretty pumped with that one.
You've gone up on the tips after 2 rounds.
I'm sure
on the back of literally this game. I'm sure I'll make a comeback at some stage. But I thought the Eels were much smoky for this year. They're definitely someone I thought could go and have a good run at it. The Sharks, obviously, we had high expectations going into the year. But I think it's probably a little bit disappointing for the Eels.
It's 2 teams that you can probably say have underperformed to start the season. There's definitely a ceiling, and they're not really there yet.
Yeah, they're not there yet. As you were saying, I think you were saying they didn't impress you against the Titans last week. They barely got the job done. The floodgates kind of opened. It was a really high-scoring game. So that's why you tipped against them, and at the end of the day, you were right. It was still a close game.
Could have gone either way.
It could have gone either way in the end.
But it could have been a bit more dominant if Nico Hines kicked a little bit better.
Yeah.
1 for 4, I think.
There was a bit of poor goal kicking throughout the weekend. Definitely we saw that in the first game. But yeah, Hines, he kicked the one that counts as the main one. So that's all that matters in the end.
With the pressure on.
But yeah, from the Eels standpoint, they've come out and said they didn't like the tactics. They felt that the Sharks were targeting Moses. I don't agree. I think.
Look, if it works.
I think the tackle after his kick where I can't remember, was it Wilton took his legs or something? He's a meter and a bit off the ground there after his kick, and Wilton hasn't ducked in or shot down at his legs. Thought he was a little bit unlucky, and the try even, I didn't think there was much in it. So the knees coming in after the try, that is. But I don't think there was much in it from the Sharks. It's footy. It's a contact sport.
It is.
Stuff's going to happen.
Yeah. People are going to get hurt. Like, if you're trying to save a try, you're going to put your body on the line, and sometimes you'll hit the guy with your knee. And it's not good, but
it's not like he got him in the head or really in the chest for mine. So I can't blame. I don't think the Sharks had anything there.
No. So who got your votes for this one?
For this game, Nico Hines, who we were just talking about, took the 3 votes. He was phenomenal, obviously. Connor Tracy got the 2. He was a late inclusion into the centres. Yeah. He was really impressive last season. I was somewhat surprised he didn't play round 1. But yeah, he was great this week. And Dylan Brown got the 1 vote for me. He was great for the Eels. I think we've definitely seen him mature and become a great asset to Moses. Like, Probably he's probably the best Robin, one of the better Robin halves. If you've heard of the Batman and Robin analogy, so you've got your dominant half, obviously your Batman. Brown's developed into a really good supporting half that complements Moses' game really well. So he took the 1 for me.
Yeah, Brown took 2 for me as well, and Hines, same as you, 3. Thought he was really good.
Yeah, we're finally in agreement on something.
And I had Matt Moreland as 1 because I thought he was handy and he kind of helped Hines have that man of the match performance that he had.
Yeah, I guess he's probably someone who's flown under the radar a little bit for the first 2 games. He's been good. You haven't really been able to fold him. Last week, in the preseason, I thought the job was going to be Trindle's. But Moylan's, I think, done enough so far.
Yeah. And he's not injured yet, which is good.
That's obviously a great sign. Obviously,
so far, don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, don't touch wood. But he's obviously struggled with injuries over the last couple of years. We know what a talent he was at the Panthers. So
yeah, hopefully he can repay the faith in the Sharks organisation this season.
Now on to the actual last game. Saturday.
Of Saturday, Cowboys dismantling the Raiders.
What is going on here? I could not have picked this in 100 years.
Yeah, obviously both of us getting this tip wrong, and you can't blame us because the Cowboys looked so average last week, and the Raiders upset the Sharks, so naturally the Raiders should beat the Cowboys. And then the Raiders just get pumped by the Cowboys, not even close.
It was one thing we did say at the start during the our preseason podcast. The Raiders were one of those teams that we couldn't get a read on. We thought they might be pretty inconsistent, and they're just proving exactly what we thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
They really may struggle to be a top 8 team this year if they can't find some consistency. The forward pack, who played so well in round 1 against the Sharks, there wasn't really much go for there this week. Obviously, Schneider was out this week with COVID, and they had Frawley, I believe, come in and play in the halves. He struggled a little bit. The Cowboys were able to get after him with a bit of pressure. No one really stood up for the Raiders. I guess we had Whiten a bit more last week. And then on the flip side, the Cowboys were great.
It's like the young guns stood up. Hamaso and Tommy Dearden played really well and kind of just led the team around, I guess, off the back of Tamalolo.
Yeah, Dearden's really doing his best to, I guess, keep Drinkwater out of the side. Someone we've been kind of talking about the last couple of weeks. But a performance like that, they put 26 points on, which is something we thought was going to be an issue for them. Can't really fault that.
No, it'll be really interesting to see how they go up against the Broncos on Sunday. That'll be a good one to look out for. Yeah,
we'll obviously get into the Broncos in a bit, but they've got 2 wins to start the season, to some people's surprise, I guess.
Yeah, very good start from them. Anyway, on to the points for that one. Hamaso got 3 for me. Tamalolo got 2. I thought he was just really good, laid a platform for them, and that kind of helped Dearden, who got 1 point for me, kind of play make and do what he does best.
Yeah, definitely. Dearden took the 3 for me. I thought he was phenomenal. It's just one of those. It was just one of those matches where stuff seemed to click for him. And, it showed signs of that potential that I guess everyone thought he had at the Broncos and moving up to the Cowboys why they signed him. Peter Hickey took my 2 votes. I thought he was phenomenal. He was showing. He was pretty tricky. I thought he got that try assist where he's towed it through.
Yeah, that was very close. What was that? Yeah, to Felt. Yeah,
to Felt, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, we might need to search that up. But yeah, Hiku's looking like a really good signing for the Cowboys this season. He's doing all the good thing, all the little things right. And Hamaso again took my 1 vote.
Yeah, good game for the Cowboys. Positive for them after a shocking round 1 performance. But on to Sunday, and Knights vs Tigers went exactly as I expected it to go. Even though Ponga got ruled out and Clemmer got ruled out and Saifidi got ruled out, the Knights just ran over the Tigers, and it was a bit sad.
I thought when we saw all those outs late in the week, I didn't think the Tigers were going to win, but I thought it was going to be a really close game.
A bit closer than 26-4.
I had Knights on the little win margin there, 1-12.
Yep, stitched up.
Got stitched up on my multi. I think there's got to be some apologies in order to both Clifford and Clune. Clune obviously had a fabulous game this week, but going into the season there was a lot of doubters. I wasn't a big fan of Clifford going into the season. I didn't mind Clune too much. I thought he was a good signing and he was getting a little bit too much hate going into the year.
Yeah.
However, I didn't think that halves pairing was going to work.
No. Well, it looked like shambles, and now Clifford's topping the Dally M list. He's up in like the top 5, I think.
Yeah.
Which is unreal.
Clifford and Clune are looking like great. They're both playing. It looks like the game's really slowed down for both of them, and they're at that really nice point as a half where you're in control and you're being able to find the gaps in the defense. And I think it also comes down to Andrew Johns is doing a lot of work with the Knights.
Not a bad bloke to have there.
I think I'm honestly surprised he hasn't done a little bit more coaching over the last couple of seasons, because we've been able to see the effects he has had on halves. He's such a smart. He's got such a smart footy mind. You know, put his partying and stuff out of it. He can definitely be a great coach. He's done well for the Blues system as well. I wouldn't be surprised if, I know they've volunteered to coach for Samoa, him and his brother Matty.
Yeah, how good would that be?
I wouldn't be surprised if Samoa eventually go down that path. I know coaching's been an issue over the last couple of years, but I think they would definitely benefit from something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Knights are looking good, and it will be a big test for them next week playing the Premiers, Penrith.
I believe that's the game, yeah.
That'll really
over in Bathurst
be the teller as to whether or not Clune and Clifford are legit.
Yeah, I might hold my apologies and
just save it a week.
Yeah, we're sorry for now. I'm 2 out of 3 on that, and we'll just wait till next week.
Yep.
They don't have to win, but if they can put in a really competitive performance, I think we can definitely see them being a top 8 side this season.
Absolutely. So yeah, who got your votes for that one?
We spoke before. Clune took my 3 votes. I thought he was phenomenal. Again, game slowed down for him. Was able to put people through holes, take the line on, got his running game in order. It was a great performance. Great performance. I thought you were going to say something as well there.
I was going to take a sip. Yeah, Clune got 3 for me as well. And I see Gagai as your 2. He's my 2 as well. Backing up a great round 1 performance. He's just had a brilliant one again in round 2.
Gagai's found some really good form here at the Knights.
It's Origin Gagai, but it's in club football.
He's getting enough of the ball where he's actually being able to show his talent and really being able to bust tackles, make some meters like that. And yeah, he's looking at probably as one of the best signings this season so far. I know we're only 2 weeks into the year, but
it's a great start for him.
Yeah.
And I thought Hastings was really good in a team that just did not look like they cared. He was the only one who played well.
Yeah.
He got 1.
From mine, I don't think the Tigers deserved any points.
That's a fair.
However, Hastings, he's someone we talked about. I thought he was going to be able to bring a bit more of intensity and stuff into the Tigers this year.
He has, but no one else has done anything.
I thought he'd be able to bring some guys with him. I obviously thought he was going to take a little bit of pressure off Brooks. We saw it last week against the Storm, and when they were up, they looked all right. Obviously, Storm came back really strong, and what we expected ended up happening. But I think if Hastings can start to bring some players up with him, the Tigers do have some opportunities in the next couple of weeks, I believe.
They can only go up from now.
However, Tyson Frizzell took my 1 vote. He was unlucky to miss out last week.
He had a great game.
He had another phenomenal game.
Yeah, he might be featuring in our team of the week as well, which is coming up after.
I believe he might be. Forgot who we put in. He will be featuring in our team of the week coming up a little bit later.
Last game of the round. I'm sorry, not
Are
the
you
season.
good?
got a good 25 weeks to go. 25 odd weeks. Broncos and Bulldogs. It was a bit of a nail biter, low key. It was pretty close at times. Yeah,
I was surprised. Bulldogs taking that lead. The 10-6. 10.
Yeah, they were up for a fair bit.
They were up for a while,
try, and then they scored the 3rd try to go up.
Farnsworth gets a late double to put him in front.
It was good.
Bit of individual brilliance to. Yeah, that's the perfect word. Individual brilliance from Farnsworth to, I guess, get the Broncos over the line in the end.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy, but a win's a win, and Broncos are 2-0 and in the top 4, where you wouldn't have expected them.
I mean, it's a bit early to be really.
Hang on, what did Matty John? Was it Matty Johns who said just take it in while your players while your team's up the top, because you never know when they're going to be there again.
I mean, we'll go to the ladder a bit later, but they're currently sitting in 3rd and they're one above the Storm, which hasn't happened for a little while.
Broncos fans, enjoy it while it's happening.
I guess, yeah. Knights are looking a little bit better than the Broncos at the moment. If you're a Knights fan, enjoy it for now. Fingers crossed it stay. If they keep playing the way they are, I think they'll stay up there.
Yeah.
But Cowboys are another. We'll get into that a little bit later.
We will. So votes wise, Herbie got 3 for me after his 2 tries. He won it for the Broncos with his strip, and then burning Ockenbaugh. Who, let me just say, how is this bloke in 1st grade? Like, I get that he would be
that's a bit rough. He has a couple of individual brilliant moments every now and then.
During that game, it's like every trial scored on him. So the first one, the chip from Kelly, Oates caught it on Ockenbaugh, out of position, try. Second one was...
I don't think you can... They've gone down the short side, not the short side, they've gone down the left side, and as a winger, you're supposed to come up and shut down the cutout. If he stays back there, they put it through the hands and they score in the corner anyway. He's come up. I think it was Kelly, was it?
Kelly
was good enough to put a perfectly weighted kick in behind split. I think Dufty was coming across as well.
Yep.
I don't think you can blame that solely on Ockenbaugh. That's just a great kick. Like,
how about when Ockenbaugh got burnt though out of the scrum?
I'm not. Look, I'm defending him on one here. I'm not defending him on the other one.
Fair enough. So yeah, he's been named again. So we'll see how he goes. Jaden Ockenbaugh.
I think he's got the talent. It's just
he does.
He missed a lot of last year as well. Yeah. So I'm coming to his defense slightly.
We'll review this again next week.
We'll review it next week and we'll see how this goes.
Could age badly for both of us.
Yes, Farnworth also took my 3 votes again. Yeah, he's saved the Broncos after Tony Staggs ruined my other multi, dropping the ball over the line after some
class
Reynolds magic. That one hurt.
Yeah, bit of Hodges did that to Copley about 5-10 years ago. I don't know if you remember that one.
I guess
that was brilliant.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a shorter pop up though, down a very short blind side.
Reynolds is like Alex Mack from the NFL.
It caught Alex Mack. I know you're a Falcons fan, but like you couldn't think of any other center.
It's a gun.
Yeah, well, it was a long pass and it caught about 4 or 5 guys off guard. So
yeah, good from Reynolds. Too bad it didn't pay off.
Yeah, I'll stop dissing Tony Staggs. He's had a little bit of a rough start, so yeah, I know he's getting back into it. So
give him time.
Give him time.
Yeah, Haas did get 2 votes for me as well. Thought he was really good.
Yeah, Haas at his dominant best. I think he's at the top of our league latest medal standings at the moment. I can't really fault him. He's got such a big motor, such a big work rate. Gets so much done for the Broncos.
Yeah, and then Oates scoring his 100th NRL try gets 1 for me to finish that off for the round. Yeah,
it doesn't surprise me. Oates played pretty well. Corey Waddell for mine, for the Bulldogs, he was phenomenal. I thought I think he got moved into the starting squad, into prop, and played really well throughout the middle.
Very solid.
Definitely one of the reasons I think the Bulldogs went up early on. So
yeah,
he took my 1 vote.
Concludes a good round of footy. If you're on YouTube, you'll be seeing the NRL ladder right about now. So a few surprises. Knights up top, Broncos in 3rd, and Manly still in 16th.
I know we talked about we won't go on again this week. We've rubbed it in enough. However, I guess the key takeaway, there's still 4 undefeated teams, with the Knights, Panthers, Broncos, and Storm. The Knights played the Panthers this week, so. Who does Storm play?
Storm playing the Eels.
Storm got Eels, so it's a tough game. And Broncos got the Queensland derby against the Cowboys. So there's some good matchups here. Cowboys currently sitting 5th, surprisingly.
Yeah. Broncos and Cowboys both in the top 8 again.
Well, there's every Queensland team won this week, and obviously the Storm, I guess, kind of a Queensland team. But they're Victorian, but you know, I'm not that. Yeah, they've got a lot of Queensland players playing from.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and still, if you're on YouTube, you'll be seeing our Leaguelatest medal tally, where Dane Gagai and Haas are tying up top with 10 each, followed by halves, Hines, O'Sullivan, Hughes, Moses, and then a few strike weapons in Ravalawa, Kickow.
Yeah, a few guys who had a phenomenal game in round one or this round have had phenomenal games, taking 3 votes from both of us, sitting there in a big pile. But obviously Gagai and Haas have been the standouts in both games they've played this season.
Yep, so it's looking good. Do you want to take us through the team of the week for round 2?
Yeah, so team of the week...
Cue animation.
He's so proud of himself for this.
Go on.
Team of the week for round 2. We've spoken about him earlier briefly. He missed out on your votes, but James Tedesco was phenomenal for the Roosters against Manly. Definitely not later platform, but he was able to capitalise on the platform that was laid by his big man through the middle, and he was at what we expect from Teddy.
It's his standard.
Yeah, it's almost his standard now.
Yeah. For the wingers, Marzu after the three tries.
Yeah, he was an obvious inclusion. Had a phenomenal game.
You can't not put a guy who scored a hat trick in the team of the week. He's got to be there.
It's a pretty special performance.
Yeah. And Tupou on the other wing.
Yeah,
playing well for the Roosters.
He capitalised on his opportunities. He played well.
Yep. Centres.
We got Gagai, who we've spoken about, second week in a row.
Second appearance in the famous.
He's 2 from 2 at the not his new club. Returning to Newcastle, he's gone 2 from 2. And Farnworth, we spoke about earlier. Had a phenomenal game. Pretty much single-handedly won it for the Broncos. He gets the other spot in the centres. Yep.
Onto the halves, we have 2 former Broncos actually, in Tom Dearden and Ben Hunt. They both played pretty well.
Yeah, as we were talking about Dearden, everything seemed to click for him this week. And Ben Hunt was really strong in a losing side. He, I guess, did everything he could against the reigning premiers.
Yep. Onto the props. Fanor Blake, who got a few points for you, gets a spot in our team of the week alongside Tau Heako.
Yeah, both took some points for me, I believe. Both had massive performances, big meters, big post-contact meters, really worked hard in attack and defence. Exactly what you want your middles doing. Laid the foundation for both their teams.
Yeah, he was good. And then Harry Grant as well at 9, who I think we both agree is the best hooker in the league at the moment.
Yeah, the only player that's coming close over the first few rounds is Coruscant, who we've spoken about, has been pretty phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
But Grant, he's far and away looked like probably in his one performance, he looked like the best player on the field.
Yeah.
He was carving up the Rabbitohs defence.
He was really good. And I'll just add too, Hodgson out for the season with an ACL. I think Tom Starling, is a really good player. I think he's a gun, and I think it's only a matter of time until he was going to become the starter, and now he's going to show how good he is.
Well, that's Hodgson's career at the Raiders over. It's looking like. There's probably a small opportunity for him to make a late season return. Very unlikely.
Very unlikely.
Extremely unlikely at this stage.
Probably impossible.
It's not impossible. It's been done before. It's early on in the season.
That's really an ACL.
Yeah. It depends on his. Wasn't a full rupture. However, I think he's getting
full repair.
He's getting a full repair. He'll be getting a hamstring graft, and it is the one he did a couple of years ago. But he'll likely be out for the year, finishing his Raiders career. Sorry.
Yeah.
Does open the door for Starling to, I guess, take over and hopefully start the rest of the year for the Raiders. Hopefully they find their man in him.
Yep, absolutely. And now the second row is here.
Our back row. I've seen to have a bit more pull in the team of the week this week, I guess. Frizzell and Famore, both guys that took votes for me.
Yeah.
They were both phenomenal.
Yep. Frizzell, he kind of looked like a leader in the Knights team. Like,
he's really stood up.
Did he get 2
so
tries?
far.
Or was it just one? Did one get disallowed? I can't remember.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
He played well though.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game for mine. I'll try and check that for you, but yeah, he's running really good lines at the moment, and I thought maybe without Ponga this week and a couple of the other guys, that it was going to make it a bit harder for Frizzell, who's, we've seen play off the outside of those kind of guys really well. But he stood up and looked like a leader, really took the team forward.
Yep. And then Isaiah Yeo to round out the starting side with another consistent performance.
Is that 2 from 2 for him as well?
I think so, yep. He beat out Carrigan last week.
Yeah, he beat out Carrigan and Curran last week in close one. Yep. Curran was also pretty good this week. He's looking like he may be in line for an Origin.
For the New South Wales jersey.
It's a bit early to be saying that he will be, but he's been phenomenal over the first 2 rounds. We saw how good he was last year. I wouldn't be surprised if Curran grabs a spot on the bench for New South Wales this year.
Yep. And now the bench, and this might be our strongest bench you'll see for a few weeks in the Team of the Week. You want to take us through?
Yeah, so we got Matt Croker from the Knights. He came off the bench, spelled Randall, I believe, and he
did his job really well.
He looked really good. He just did what you want. I guess your bench utility or your bench hookers to come on and do. Didn't look like there was too much difference in the team when he was on the field either. So
just kept the same kind of intensity.
Yeah, definitely. 15, we've gone Nat Butcher. We've already spoken about it. Had a massive game.
Yeah, can't fault him. Now he's pushed Crichton out of the side,
and we know how hard that would be. Crichton's obviously a phenomenal player.
He's world class.
He's played rep footy and
Australian team.
Do you want to go take us through the last 2?
I'll take us through the last 2. We got Talakai from the Sharks. He was great impact off the bench.
He's also earned himself a starting jersey this week in Wilton's absence.
True. Yeah. And then Cam Murray, who...
He got dropped to the bench late, so I guess it's a little bit of a technicality, but...
It does count.
It does count. He gets the 17 jersey. He was good for the Rabbitohs. He was probably one player that was consistent throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
And he was good during their comeback, I guess.
Yep. And that finishes off our Team of the Week for round 2. Pretty solid looking team there. Probably win the comp, that team, to be honest.
Oh, it's not bad.
Oh, maybe not. They go close.
It depends. If they play like this every week,
yes.
They probably would. We'll see if Dearden and Ben Hunt and those guys can keep rolling out performances like that. So I'm not sure if I'd be necessarily making that call this early on.
Jumps the gun. Anyway, we'll go on to our final segment for the podcast in our round 3 tips. Few really, really tough ones. Just looking at this, it doesn't start much more difficult than Dragons and Sharks. Like, which way do you go here?
I haven't written notes on this game yet.
I'll just find a coin to toss because that's how we're going to decide this.
Yeah, If I go Dragons, you want to take Sharks? You want to split on this one?
I'll take the Sharks.
I'm leaning towards the Dragons. Yeah. Okay. We'll shake hands on that one. I am slightly worried. Dragons, no McCulloch. Didn't end up being a dislocated elbow. Looks just like a bad hyperextension. He'll miss 2-3 weeks. We know he's had some injury issues in the past, but he generally recovers pretty quickly. I still think the Dragons, they looked really good against the Panthers last week.
Yeah, they did.
I think it depends which Sharks rock up. If round 1 Sharks rock up, then
Dragons win.
Dragons win no matter what. That round 2 team pull up who just beat the Eels. I think the Sharks will probably take it.
Yeah.
However, Dragons at home, it's kind of that rivalry.
It'll be competitive, and
both teams will get up for it. So
one to watch for me. I was watching this guy really closely on the weekend when he played. Was Tyrell Sloan. He looked like he went missing, and it was a bit disappointing. But I think he absolutely has the ability to play well, and I think if he plays well, he can win it for the Dragons.
Well, we saw it in week 1. He was probably one of the best players on the field against the Warriors.
Two try assists in that one.
I think it's just going to be. He's still young. It'll still be getting used to coming into first grade. The Panthers did a really good job at shutting him down, I thought. So It'll be interesting to see how he goes against a team like the Sharks.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. Thursday night games are looking good this year. On to Friday though, Tigers and Warriors, the curtain raiser. For me, it is 100% a Warriors win. I think the Tigers, unless they change something or something happens, I think Warriors get up.
Oh, that is a tough one. I'm gonna go the Tigers. I'm gonna.
Could see some drastic changes to the tips. The tip leaderboard.
Last 2 weeks have been pretty similar. I think the Tigers, they're at home, Campbelltown. I think they'll really get up for this game. There was some issues last year when in games they should have gotten up for, which they didn't. But you said yourself, Hastings really has that ability to hopefully bring up the rest of the team. If we saw what we saw in the first half of round 1 against the Storm, Brooks starts running the ball a bit more. They can bring other guys in.
It's definitely a winnable game.
When Peachy had a shocker last week, lost his head, got sin binned. If he can play his best footy as well, we know how good he is. Provides so much spark. And the Warriors still have a number of players out.
Yeah.
I'm going just the Tigers to a bit of an upset.
It's close. It's close.
I've arguably gone 2 upsets to start. It's looking like a tough round anyway.
Yeah, and this next game needs no introduction at all. Rabbitohs Roosters, always a good game.
Arguably the best rivalry in NRL.
Yeah, just continues to be a great game.
What is that? That's 114 years of
114
rivalry.
years.
We are in the 114th year of the NRL, I believe, after 1908 start. Quick maths. Yeah, something like that. Round about there. Yeah.
Who do you have, Rabbitohs or Roosters?
It's been a real horror start for the Rabbitohs. They've had some tough matchups.
Yeah.
And I do think they're going to go 0-3.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The Roosters, they looked too good last week. We did see glimpses of the Rabbitohs' potential at the end of last week, and I think they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
However, I think the Roosters are going to be too strong.
Yep, I agree. That is one to watch. If you are doing nothing on Friday night, turn Channel 9 on at 8 o'clock
Or Fox
Sydney
if you're
time.
lucky enough to
Or Fox if you got KO.
Fox.
Or Fox.
You can watch it on Fox still, bro.
But yeah, that'll be a great game.
We move into Saturday, first game of the round. Top of the table clash. I know we're only 2 rounds into the season.
Top of the table.
It is the top of the table clash, and they take it out to Bathurst.
Great entertainment.
In regional New South Wales. The Panthers v Knights. Where do you see this one going? Do the Knights continue their run of really good form against the reigning premiers?
Look, I would love to say yes, but I think the premiers are too good. I think the Knights put up a fight though, and I think they make it competitive. Now Pong's back. It could be a close one, but I think Panthers go 3 from 3.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Panthers will be too strong. I really want to see the Knights have a competitive match. As I said before, I wouldn't be too concerned if they don't win a game like this early on in the season.
Yeah.
If they can make it competitive, their halves get involved in the game, I would definitely be taking some positives away from it and saying that Knights are a contender this year.
Yep.
If their halves go missing against a quality team like the Panthers, who, have been good at shutting down oppositions, I'll start to think the Knights might be a mid-table team.
Maybe fall in the power rankings a tad.
Fall a little bit, yeah. We'll see those throughout the week.
Yeah, so that'll be a good game to kick off Super Saturday, followed by Storm and Eels, which could arguably be better.
Yeah, the Storm have had a little bit of trouble with the Eels over the last couple of years.
Bit of a bogey team.
It's not a bogey team because I think it's probably it's probably even split over the last 2 seasons. I think I'm not 100% sure on that, but Storm having fans back in Amy Park, they didn't look great last week. The last 20 minutes they looked pretty awful.
Dropped off.
But they got the win, which is what mattered in the end for Bellamy's 500th game. We didn't mention that either. But I've got to go to Storm at home with fans. They looked really good, so
yeah,
Storm again.
Having a hard time with this one because this is one I see the Eels stealing a victory, but Oh, Storm is such a safe call, and at home they're so hard to beat. So even though they've got no Harry Grant, I'll go with the
If
Storm.
I hadn't tipped two big upsets to start, I would probably be leaning towards Eels. It's not a bad tip. It's something that'll differentiate a number of, I guess, people this week.
Yeah.
And the Eels coming off a loss, we know they're a team that can bounce back well. They've got the high ceiling. They could whip out one of the performances of the year.
Yep, they could, well and truly. And then last one on Saturday is Raiders and Titans in Canberra.
I have no idea which way this one's going to go. Like, this one could go absolutely any. Like,
it could be 40-0 or it could be 20-all, and
it depends which Raiders and which Titans show up. So,
yeah, who you got?
I was just having a look. The Raiders, they were away this week with their shocking performance, and they were up in North Queensland. They'd had a good performance at home in round one, and Schneider is back. But
I think I'm going the Titans.
I think I'm also going to agree with you there, and I'm going the Titans. I'm not confident in that pick at all. I really don't sound it. It could go either way.
Just quietly, really, really good round on paper. Some really close matchups.
There's been, I can see either team winning each one of these matchups so far. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Titans for this one.
That will be a good one.
After what we saw last week, that was woeful from the Raiders.
Yeah, they'll need to change something fast to get a win.
We go into Sunday's matchups. Broncos v Cowboys, probably one of the best rivalries of the last couple of seasons, even though these two teams have been somewhat underperforming.
We don't need to speak of that.
Bottom of the table, but we've seen, obviously, still produce some absolute classics. Golden Point, question mark?
Yeah. What was it? There was like a streak of 3 or 4 games in like 2015, 16, 17. Just went to Golden Point every
Don't
time.
bring up 2015, bro.
Thrilling. Sorry.
Don't do that to me.
It still hurts.
Hurts.
But yes, second big rivalry game of the round. Who do you see getting this one?
At Suncorp, I'm going the Broncos. I think Cowboys, as good as they were last week, I think I'm not sure how much of that is to put down to Raiders' poor performance and how much that is to put down if it's a one-off or if we'll see it time and time again from the Cowboys. But yeah, I've got to go the Broncos here.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Broncos look like they're building something, and I think
they're only going to get better with Reynolds as well.
Well, Reynolds, you could tell he was kind of easing himself into it, and I think he'll take a step up in this one.
He didn't play any of the trials and he missed round one, so
he was cramping.
It'll take it a little while to get back. Yeah, we'll see that a couple of times over the opening rounds, I think. But
yeah, so that's a good one. And to close out the round at 4 Pines Park, what is going on with these stadium names? It was Brookvale Oval and it was Lotto Land.
But yeah, I like 4 Pines better than Lotto Land, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Don't mind it being named after.
4 Pines is not bad. Cheeky sponsor would be great.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
But this is a really intriguing game because we've seen the Sea Eagles really struggle over the first 2 rounds of the season. The Bulldogs, I wouldn't say excelled. They've got one scrappy win over the Cowboys and then a scrappy loss against the Broncos, who were they were the bottom 3 teams last season. Obviously, we expect some of them to do a little bit better this year.
You totally Bulldogs are kind of just building their chemistry, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going back to the Sea Eagles being that bully team. I think the Sea Eagles will be able to win this game if Tommy Trbojevic can step up and find a bit of form.
Yep, I agree there. I feel like Manly, they'll train this week thinking they're going up against a team that they'll dominate. And I think the mentality will really help them, and I think they'll go onto the field and they'll go, right, we're going to smash these blokes, and I think they'll do it.
Yeah, it's something they struggled with last year, I think. They started the season pretty poorly. It took them a couple of wins after in round 5-ish. And then they were able to get their season going. This is hopefully, if you're a Manly fan, the game that kind of kickstarts your season.
Yeah, should be a win for the Sea Eagles, and that closes out a really good round of footy we should be seeing.
Yeah, if you're a betting person, I'd probably steer clear of this round
Yeah,
because
don't put a
I
dollar
can
in
just
this.
see me losing plenty of money this
Yeah.
week.
Stick to the safe match betting.
Maybe go to AFL this week. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Maybe not. Maybe don't go over there. Maybe
Yeah.
save that for when NRL gets cancelled or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough round, but it should be interesting for the spectators. We've really started off the season really well, I think, and I think we'll continue this into round 3.
Yep. Yeah, really good. Right. Well, that brings the podcast to a close.
Right. Yeah. That closes up the podcast, our 3rd episode.
Yeah. Hope you guys rated it.
Yeah. Let us know any feedback again. We're trying to get better every week, I guess.
Yeah.
We've changed the setting back.
Yes. More podcasts and more
podcast vibe.
Less news report style. We're not doing
I know.
these ones anymore.
Well, I'm still doing these ones. I'm going to wrap it up like, thank you and good night.
Thank you. It's been Tracy Grimshaw.
Alright, well, cheers, guys. If you watched this far, thank you very much. We'll join back next week. Hopefully, this should be out Wednesday.
Yep.
Hopefully, get your shit together. We might have to bleep that out.
Ooh, adding bleeps. That'd make it seem really sweaty.
Alright. Well, thank you very much, and we'll hopefully see you next week.
Cheers, guys. Bye.